The lights are very bright. Okay, hello again. Let's do a little housekeeping here today. We're in the grand ballroom. This is the developer track, so make sure you're at the right place. Are we all developers here? Developers up here? This is the backbone of the AR industry right here with the developers. So awe.live is the app that the conference is using. If you haven't downloaded that, feel free to download awe.live.live on your mobile. Put together your agenda there, find exhibits there, connect with other attendees on that app. There is a leaderboard, and attendees with the most engagement on this app will win prizes. So if you want to win a prize, do your social media on awe.live. I don't know. They don't give me that here. It's a surprise prize. It's for awe.live. We'll have to find you tech support for awe.live. Yeah, I apologize. Oh, really? Okay. All right. Let me, after I introduce everybody, maybe I can help you chase down an answer for that one. Let's see. We got the welcoming reception this evening for all AWE participants. Make sure that you have your wristband and your badge and show up for that. We'll have a little party in the Santa Clara Ballroom at the Hyatt Regency Santa Clara Hotel, second floor, and that is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So I hope to see you there. Coffee break, sponsored by Niantic. Thank you, Niantic. We love our coffee. Is in the Mission City lobby at 10:45. And we will have the Augie Awards. This year, the Augie Awards have 15 breakthrough categories, as well as 3 Best in Show categories. And that is tomorrow. You can catch the Augie at the main stage of the Mission City Ballroom. And don't miss tomorrow's other special event, Happy Hour, the Playground, Exhibit Hall D at 6 to 7. All right, I think we're good. Concession stands. Do we want to hear about concession stands? There's one out there down the hall. And so the hashtag, if you're posting on social, is hashtag AWE 2021. Easy to remember. And we are recording this session. Hello, world. And I think we're good. Anybody want the Wi-Fi? AWE_Wi-Fi. And the password is all lowercase welcome, exclamation point. Oh, we got it right there. Okay. I think we're good to go here. You guys ready? All right, let me make a quick intro here. So, again, welcome. Day 1, session 1. We got the big hitters right here. Niantic, building AR experiences with Niantic Lightship. Super excited. You're launching your AR SDK. Congrats. We've got Amanda Whitt and Pablo Colapinto. All right. How about a round of applause for Amanda and Paulo? And Amanda is the product manager of the AR platform.
Yes, I am.
And you want to do your own intro, or you want me to give you a little quick bio here?
Sure, I can do it.
You want to cover that?
Yeah, so I'm Amanda. I am a product manager on the AR team at Niantic. And then joined by Pablo, who is the creative technology director at Nexus Studios. And Immersive. Head of Immersive. Okay, so we're super excited to give you a preview of the Lightship ARDK. We are going to take you through what's involved in the ARDK, what are the use cases, where you can find support, and then Pablo is going to go through some of the AR initiatives at Nexus Studios, and then talk a little bit about how they've been using Lightship. So I'm pretty sure most of you have seen the keynote that was just going on earlier. So John Hankey, our CEO and founder, was giving a talk on our vision for the real-world metaverse, as well as announcing the launch of the Lightship platform. So we just launched that yesterday, which is super exciting. So for today's talk, I'm going to dive into the tool set. So, okay, I'm also going to try to go super fast through this since we have about 10 minutes and Pablo has 10 minutes. Usually I give this presentation in 30 minutes to an hour, so this is going to feel like a ton of information, but also PSA, we are going to be at the conference. We have our booth space, so please come over and check us out. We've got a lot of sessions and deep dives on specific areas of Lightship and the ARDK. So we'll be here for the next few days, so please come over and say hi. Okay, so what is Lightship? So Lightship is a set of tools and technology that we are offering as a platform to third-party developers and creators. So really the focus of Lightship is to enable creators to build augmented experiences out in the world. It's about more realistically and seamlessly blending the physical and the digital, so connecting the atoms with the bits. And it's should be noted that this is part of the technology stack that is already present in our Niantic games. So in Pokemon Go and in Ingress and in the just launched Pikmin Bloom and the to-be-launched Transformers Heavy Metal game. So Niantic Lightship is powering the AR experiences that are available already in some of these games. And so now we are making our Lightship platform available to third parties, and we're starting with the AR tools of Lightship. And so we are wrapping this up into an SDK. It's called ARDK, our Augmented Reality Developer Kit. This is an SDK that's made for Unity, and it works across both Android and iOS. And then thinking about kind of the three pillars of our AR experiences, we're enabling better sharing experiences, better understanding of the real world, and then tools for mapping the 3D space and the environment. So I'm going to go into kind of each of these areas and the key APIs that are involved here. So this is the fun part where I get to just share a bunch of demos. So we're going to start with understanding. So the ARDK has a set of APIs for recognizing different environmental elements that are in the space. So water, sky, buildings, trees. I'll play this video here so you can kind of see this running in action. We're segmenting those channels or those pixels that are in the frame, and then providing a mask that developers or creators could use to inform how the AR content can behave or inform placement. So going into a few key examples of what you can do with such technology. So sky segmentation here, we've got a fun example built with Trigger, with Coachella as well. So you can see that we're using sky segmentation to create a large-scale AR object that is properly occluded behind the buildings and the trees. And I should also note, too, that we are launching with this kind of first set of around 10 semantic channels, but we have a larger set that's in development, and so we're going to be continuing to add new environmental recognition capabilities to the platform, and you'll see those get released over the next few months. Another example, too, this is built by the Designium. It's called Skydemo. Skymemo, actually, and multiple players can sort of leave these sky notes, and they're using semantic segmentation really as the canvas for creating these AR experiences. A couple other examples, too, of semantic segmentation in action. We've seen some really cool demos for informing how AR characters could behave. So maybe if there is sky, that means that the character is flying, or ground digging, or water swimming, or maybe changing the story depending on what we might know about where the user is. So if they're at a park, maybe it's more of an outdoor story, or you can change the story if they're in a city and we detect buildings and sidewalk. So here's an example that we provide in the ARDK. You can kind of see a tutorial video here, so this is super sped up. This is just giving you a preview of what it actually looks like to develop with the ARDK. And so some key examples that I want to point out. We have a querying semantics tutorial that's on our YouTube channel, as well as several examples of using segmentation in our documentation. Okay, moving to sharing. So, we want to enable these connected and more social and interactive experiences across multiple players with AR, but this is super challenging. So, making sure that we're synchronizing the game interactions and the game state and, different players who are moving, and then also being able to do this across iOS and Android. This is it's a tough feat. So, we are building out the APIs around being able to synchronize all of this together. And so those are our networking APIs. And then behind this, we are also building in the server stack. So we call this the AR backend. This is going to allow a developer to just get up and running. So we take care of the server part, and then managing the messaging and storing these messages while the session is happening. Other things to note here too, this supports up to 5 players today concurrently. We're also providing some security features around session authentication and around encryption of messages, as well as some very lightweight kind of gaming functions that are built into the server stack. So things like a player lobby system or having session persistent storage for that multiplayer game. So going to examples here, worked with PGA on their Junior League app, and so you can have your AR characters or your AR avatars kind of play against each other in this kind of putting challenge. We have another example. This is working with NZXR on our Urban Legends app. So this is battling a common AR enemy together. And we've seen some other examples like with Trigger around joint collaboration or joint building, like you saw in that terraforming video a little bit earlier. How do you create together in the same space? Again, this is another example, just what does one of our multiplayer tutorials look like within Unity? So this is the super accelerated version of that. And want to point out too, we've got awesome step-by-step guide for creating a ping pong demo, and that's part of our ARDK documentation. Okay, and then moving on to mapping. So we've, for the last few years, been kind of building out the depth estimation technology. This is going to power the 3D understanding of a space, right? So then we can kind of use that 3D map understanding to really inform how characters move and navigate around the space. Have this work for maybe more realistic AR experiences where physics laws are observed or where there's proper occlusion that is happening in real time. So key things to note about the depth or mapping APIs. We're doing real-time mapping, and this is based on the camera image. So we can do this across Android and iOS devices, LiDAR or non-LiDAR devices. We're also building out a session persistent mesh of the space. So as the user is moving around, they're building out this mesh during the session, and so they can kind of turn away and come back, and we're persisting this mesh that can be used for AR object navigation throughout the space. Other things to note here, we've got a few fun examples for how to use this as like a real-world game board, and I'll talk through some of the use cases. So here's an example with royal palaces. So you can see a good example here of occlusion. So where you have AR objects that are behind this tree, and as the user moves around, this tree is kind of properly occluding the AR objects in real time. Another example here, our ARDK dice demo. So you can see these objects are properly bouncing and colliding with the space, kind of based on that mesh depth understanding. And then this is from our game Ingress. And so this will be, using the mesh to provide some visual cues. So this is used as a visual effect for portal scanning within Ingress. And then this is one of my favorite demos too. This was Shueisha. And this is using that depth understanding to create a new kind of 3D game board in the space. So you can use kind of these obstacles that are actually in the space and the topography and the different surfaces to really create a more interactive, very realistic kind of game within the space that you're in. Okay, and so again here, just a preview of what one of our tutorials looks like. This one in particular is using and setting up the mesh. And then this kind of bringing it all the way through to the device. We have a ton of fun examples and tutorials around our mapping APIs, so please go check those out. We've got our Lightship AR YouTube channel too, where we have a bunch of these tutorials and content for you to take a look at. And this brings me to developer guidance. So we're complementing the APIs and supporting you as you develop. We've got our documentation, we've got Unity examples, we've got our sample app, which Pablo is going to talk about. We've also got different videos on our YouTube channel, and then our developer portal. We've got our community. So we've got a discourse forum for Q&A, and then we've got other support folks that are there to kind of help you with any issues and provide backup as you are developing. That's a quick recap of the ARDK. We're super excited. We just launched this yesterday, so this is kind of day one of a very long journey. We hope to offer. Oh, did I go through it all? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So day one of a very long journey. We've got a lot of tools and services that we are planning on building as part of Lightship. So to take you through kind of what other partners might be doing with Lightship, I'm going to introduce Pablo. He's going to talk about some of their initiatives and then how they have been using Lightship in their projects. Yep.
Thanks, Amanda. Hi, I'm Pablo Colopinto. I'm head of Immersive at Nexus Studios. We're an international studio working across film, animation, and immersive content. And we're storytellers. So a lot when we see the tools that Niantic has provided, and we were working with them quite a bit on experiments with these tools, that was always our, first and foremost, our mission, which was to look through the use of XR as a, oh, is that it? Basically as a stage for connecting people together through story. So one of the things that we get most excited about isn't just the wonder that you might personally have when you see something, a forest growing in your living room, but actually being able to share that with somebody else and point to it. Space itself becomes an instrument that helps us connect people better through story. So the space between us is no longer empty. Big green button. We work across original content, branded content, and immersive content, and we bring the same artisan craftsmanship to puppets as we do to mocap, as we do to the machine learning algorithms that Niantic provided. So we think of ourselves as a bit of poets in the XR space. Here's some film examples. Most recent one, I think, is this Billie Eilish project that we did with Disney. Happier Together. It's on Disney+. And we also, of course, have immersive experiences and XR Google Doodles and bringing Childish Gambino to life and interactive mythical creatures that you can follow through South Korea. There are some tools that we use to do this. I kind of call them the 3 C's just because it's easier to remember. It's a little pat, but you'll excuse that. But it's character, context, and community. And I want to talk through some of the techniques that we've been able to leverage from Niantic's tech to develop some of those features. The work that I'm about to show isn't work that we've built with Niantic yet, but I'm going to get to that in a second. And you'll know when we do because there'll be a big Niantic logo. But we do interactive dynamic characters. So in the top left, we see the Hyachi, a mythical creature, giving a guided tour of the Chandeok Palace in South Korea. And below, we have a Hot Stepper, an app we made that is a wayfinding app that allows you to wander through the streets of LA. And that character is contextually aware, so his hair can change as he walks in front of a barber shop. On the right, we have some novel puppeting techniques that we've been using to get middle schoolers to be able to perform during COVID. So people were able to capture their facial expressions in the security of their own home and then bring them together into an actual experience. The second is context, and we work at various scales. So we build projects at stadium scale, so you can see your heroes at the size that they should be, or volumetrically capturing reenactments of 16th century Joseon Dynasty court life. These are site-specific installations. And then the third is community. And community is sort of the cornerstone of a lot of the work that we've been doing. And on the left, I'll show a bit of some work that we've been doing with the Niantic ARDK. We're also working on multi-user features and Messenger and other ways of using AR to bring people together through story. I'll show this again in a second, so I'm going to skip ahead of that. So when we started working with Niantic, those were the things going on in our minds. What could we do to advance character? What can we do to enhance the context that the character is living in? And how can we build out community? And what we wanted to start with is you guys. So this is the developer community. And find a way to softly introduce you to this vast feature set that Niantic has been providing. And we've done that with the sample app. And you can demo the sample app at the booth number 305.
Yeah, right up front.
Right up front. You'll find it. But I'll show some demos of it here. And this is a fully open source sample app. You can download the source code. You can play with it. We wanted to make something that was accessible, full-featured, rich, but also easy to understand. There's not tons of complexity in the code base. So that, under those constraints, we built 4 simple mini games. But of course, we're storytellers, so we had to make it a story about Captain Doty. Is it Doty or Dotty? Doty. Okay. Captain Doty, D-O-T-Y, our intrepid AR explorer, is going to be our guide through the Lightship ARDK. You open the sample app, and there's a map, and you're going to be able to tap on various destinations of the map, and in each place you get to play a mini game, a little vignette that demonstrates a different feature of the ARDK. The first is, how do I play that? Just press play? There we go. There's some nice music to it. The first is meshing and occlusion. So just a simple way to demonstrate the satisfaction of throwing a snowball against your actual space and watching it explode. This is ring toss. You have to try to get it through the rings. And you can watch the ball bounce around and break up. And you can play this all day, trust me. So here we're using the ability to discover the topography of your surroundings, what Niantic calls meshing. The next step on the Captain Doty's voyage is a little multiplayer app. So this demonstrates multi-user and synchronized state. You can collaborate together to try to hit these little bees, honeycomb bees, actually not sure what they are, out of the sky with snowballs. Again, all synchronized together. I think up to 5 people can join a session, and you can try that out today. So the code base, again, that you can download and read through guides you through some of the more intricate multi-peer networking strategies for building up something like this. And you can hack at this. 2 minutes? No problem. There's only 2 more mini games, so we're good. The next one is a sort of novel use of semantic segmentation. So Amanda was talking about, and John Hankey was talking earlier about the ability to identify what pixels on your phone belong to what type of material in the real world. So in Build a Ship, this mini game asks you to find different features around you. For instance, grass. And once you found some grass, you can collect the grass. You can also collect trees, if you find trees, for wood, so that can help you build a light ship. And then also sky. Very simple demo, again, all completely open source to look through and read, and you can, see how you might start to build this up to build more complicated effects on your own. That's Build a Ship. And the final one is Walkabout, which uses a game board feature, which allows you to combine knowledge of what the floor is with the meshing capabilities to build gameplay scenarios in your actual space. Here we are first building a game board, a little walkable area for Captain Doty, and once it's set up, now he can roll a snowball around and build a snowman. I think I'm out of time. So with that, play the game. Go to the booth to play the game. This is something that's coming up. I'll just leave it up there. We're doing that with Niantic Tech 2 in the UK.
Thank you, Pablo. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.